Good evening, creators on a mission. Today I have two guests to discuss the intellectual curiosity. What is it? When we wanted to know how to take the media by storm, to take over media, to become powerful and influential on media, we have asked Dr. Sanday Adelaja, who is actually have taken over the media in some years. He has an experience, and he said that there are 7 principles you need to follow, which all are combined under the umbrella of intellectually curious people. Now, I have two people who can help me discuss one of the principles, which is risk taking. Last Friday, we have discussed with you fear, but it was like personal, what we are afraid of doing in order for us to go to the next level. All right, but what if we actually can risk much more than going out of our comfort zone? Who have been invited today? You have been asking me to invite again Andrew Mudola, who is living in Zambia, and he is specializing in he's an author, he is a coach, he is entrepreneur, and he specializes in personal development, people development, and Andrew will correct me if I'm wrong. And I also invited Joan Muba, who is living in Munich, in Germany, and he also make people grow. He is a specialist in IT area, and he specializes in helping people grow and develop. And we will hear from Joan a little bit more details because he's joining us first time. I want you to write in comments greetings, so that you write also where you are watching from. So we have Greece, we have Munich, Germany, we have Zambia. Which city is it? Andrew, which Osaka, Lusaka, Zambia. So we have these 3 cities. Now I need to know where you are watching from, so we know the geography. We want to influence the whole world. Let us see, can we do it? Write in comments. And here are our guests. Hello Andrew, hello Joan. Can you please tell us how was your week? Andrew, how was your week? Joan, what are you doing? Joan, let us talk a little bit. Let us break the ice before we start talking about scary things.
Okay, great. Thank you, Kate, for the opportunity to come back on this set. It's amazing. And thank you, Joan, for being with us. I'm delighted, and we'll be looking forward to learn from you and hear your insights. So my week has been quite busy, trying to balance one or two things, like Kate said, writing, a few entrepreneurial activities here and there. But all in all, it has been a successful week. I would say I would conclude this week with a thought I was penning down today. I said, finish something today, or you finish nothing by the end of the year. So at least finish something today, or you finish nothing by the end of the year.
So what did you finish today?
Today, I finished editing a book. I finished reading one book, and I'm looking forward to finishing this broadcast.
So you have overdone your goal. You wanted to finish one thing, and most probably you will do 3.
Exactly.
Good. All right. So what I want to ask you, Joan, tell us a little bit about yourself. What did I miss from your presentation? What do you want people to know about you?
So what I want people to know mainly is about my passion. So my passion is to train with pedagogy. My passion is to support people, is to also motivate people so that they discover that they don't have big limitations regarding their professional career mainly, which is my focus at that time. So
you develop in specific area in IT, or do you go beyond IT?
So mainly in the IT, in software development and software testing, where I'm also building a an academy. This is a project that is ongoing. But also on the side, I'm very passionate that people discover their gift and talents, and that they also use that to change the environment and also to monetize that. So this is something that so that I want the people really to be free. I want the people not to have fear, especially in their finances, so that they can blossom really like a flower.
Very good. Thank you so much. So we want to hear from you. The way we will start today is what we usually do. We listen to a little part of the recording from this summit with Dr. Sunday Adelaja. Today I will play the beginning, and I will play this part of the risk taking that he is covering, this point of today. And it's not going to take a lot of time. Be very attentive to what you are listening, because we are going to break it down, and we will get a lot of lessons and insight from it. And I think that you should stick around for this. And also consider that we have brilliant guests today. Clapping to me for inviting, and clapping to you for coming to this live stream. Thank you so much, guys, for the support. What do you think about this topic? What do you think about this topic? Joanne, what do you think? What do you think about this topic?
Yes, of risk-taking. Oh, this is an amazing topic, because it has been a challenge for me, even in some fields. It is still challenging.
Intellectual curiosity?
Oh, intellectual curiosity, all the different 8 qualities that you are speaking about, intellectual curiosity, are really life-changing and also challenging at the same times, because I was thinking how I can embrace all of them. But I think it is a matter of process, and someone that goes through that at the end, I'm sure that someone that can really be an influencer.
Why do you personally want to embrace them?
What?
Why do you personally want to embrace those qualities?
Yes, I want to embrace this quality because they are challenging different parts of me. For example, building networks with value, with people that have great potential and influence, to be able to support them. It will be challenging because you can be intimidated, when you know that, oh, I'm in contact with some people that looks really talented in their field. You can be intimidated to say, oh, how I can really bring something to them? Can I really bring added value to the value they already have? This is an example. And number one, this part
so
where...
let me break it down. So why are you intimidated, or anyone can be intimidated when building networks with people? Because of you think you don't bring enough value?
Yes. So, Kate, you have to understand that we as people, we can be in a continuous development of ourselves, our potential. We still have a self-discovery to do. And at some point, you might not be confident about what you have. When you don't know what you have, how can you really give that? And if you can also have something, but if you are not confident that it can be useful of profit for someone else, it can also be challenging.
So
or you can also have something, Kate.
It means you are not confident, but you have actually something very good to give, but because you are not confident, other people cannot benefit from this. It's a profound idea. Andrew, what do you think about this?
Okay, yeah, as Joanne has rightly stated, that
can you put your microphone closer, please?
Okay, right. So, talking about intellectual curiosity, and from where Joanne has left, we need to understand that there's that aspect of self-development, meaning we have to be in a state of continuous learning, and we cannot influence if we don't have the aspect of learning. Okay, so it is very key that anybody that is going to be a person of influence, either on media or whatever form of communication that is there. This person has to have that in them, that ability to earn information, to get knowledge, to search for knowledge. They must be passionate about going after knowledge. So this particular topic is very, very interesting because you certainly reach a point of saturation if you're a person who's not learning, okay? So you become like a resounding gong, just making the same noise over and over.
What's the point of saturation?
Okay, the point is that if you are not learning, you will have nothing to give out. You will have nothing to give out. You exhaust all your content. So as much as you are giving out, you must be able to take in. I always say this, your output, okay, whatever you're putting out there through whatever media is dependent or is proportional to your intake. So what you take in is going to determine what you're going to put out. So if you're putting out information, you're taking in quality, you are taking in depth, that is what you're going to bring out. Whether you are posting something on Instagram or you are appearing on a program, it is what you have taken in ultimately that you give out. So you have to be continuous learner.
I think you're talking about intellectual curiosity when you say learning.
Yes, exactly. Somebody who has that mind of inquiring, mind of getting to know, okay? What about this? I don't know this. How can I learn more? What can I get from this person? You meet a stranger.
But I think we switch here from knowing for yourself in knowing for others, because intellectual curiosity is more about knowing for others. What I mean by this is when you are learning what help people need, what change the society need, what they need, not what you need, right?
Exactly. So example I was giving where you meet a stranger, you meet somebody for the first time. You are asking, you are trying to get to know them. Who are they? Where are they coming from? The reason you're trying to do that is so that you can know, how do I serve this person? How do I engage in a conversation that builds?
And this will give you an idea of content, for example, of article, of book, right?
Exactly. So your content is not guided by what you need, by what you've learned from interacting with people. So this is a very key topic, and particularly today's aspect where we are talking about, the risk. It's always, there's a risk involved when you want to...
Let us listen first to this message before we go into this. So I will start playing it, all right?
Great.
Okay.
Anybody that wants to take the world, one of the qualities that you've got to embrace is what we call intellectual curiosity. Especially if you want to take the world through media. For you to take the world through media or to do something, because media, the way I say it, is something that is targeting the world. It's an influence over the whole world. So this is not just influence over your family or over your church or even over your city. When we are talking about media influence, we are talking about influencing your nation, national influence, and of course, worldwide influence, international.
So what Dr. Sam Adelaja is saying here is that when you want to take over the world, we don't talk about influence in your area or even in your country. We are talking about global influence because of the media, how it works today. Media is taking over the whole world. And if we want to take over the media, we have to think in a different scale, like outside of our family and our personal problems. So that was the introduction to the whole story. I just wanted to make it a little bit clearer that we are talking at greater scale than just personal fears, like I discussed last Friday. And then we will jump into risks now.
National influence. So, and if you are targeting the world at large, and if you want to influence the entire world, one quality that will help you in that is what we call intellectual curiosity. Okay, the next point of intellectual...
So this is we're jumping to the point of risks right now. The point of intellectual curiosity, one of the qualities.
Actually, it's curious people. Number 4 is that they are risk takers.
Pastor Sunday is laughing that intellectually curious people are risk takers because he knows what he's talking about, you know. He took some risks.
Intellectually curious people take risk, and they are not afraid to burn the bridges. They promote experimentation, often testing the boundaries of possibilities without fear of failure. So intellectually curious people are not afraid of failure. They are not afraid of failure. They go and try new things. They go and see if things are going to work out for them or not. So if we want to be intellectually curious people, we should not be afraid of starting new things and of going to territories that have not been explored by other people.
So what we have discussed is that the intellectually curious people, they are not afraid, but it's not only not being afraid of like trying new things, because there is a cost. There is a cost. When you risk, what the word risk, it means danger. So you are putting yourself in danger when we're talking risks. And believe me, Dr. Sunday Adelaja, he knows the risks he is talking about because he's been in those risks. He has challenged status quo in Ukraine, and he was charged for this. There was persecution. There were some challenges. So I would say that it's not that easy to not be afraid. And this is what I want today, Andrew and Joanne, to help me break down. Let's talk about a little bit more serious approach to how are you getting ready for those risks, which risk you will get. What do you think, which risks do you have when you challenge status quo, when you try to, even when you try to help people, Andrew? When you try to help people, don't you risk? Don't you have backlash? Andrew, Joanne, any one of you, when you will talk,
Okay,
it will turn
so-
on.
Okay. So,
Okay. So-
Kate, there is something that is crucial regarding risk, you know, because risk means after taking an action, I don't really know the consequences. That's why many people are afraid of risk.
So when I take action, I don't know the consequences.
You don't really know the consequences. You are jumping into the unknown somewhere. That's why it is called risk. You know, and some people try to come with other terms like calculated risk to try to reduce the uncertainty. But this risk means there is uncertainty beyond. You don't really know what's going to happen after that.
Okay, so example, you want, there is, as a woman, I would say, I heard many times that in Nigeria, for example, yeah, women are not considered equal. You can see it in marriage. You can see it when the children get born and they rejoice more a male boy. So if I would try to change the status quo, I will have a backlash of men on me. What risks do I have to consider?
Now, the risk that you might have is that you don't really know the reaction of the people. Will they be very violent to you? Will you be killed? Will you and your children be burned?
Oh, this is very, very encouraging. Will you be killed? What do you think about this, Andrew? Why we have to be killed?
Okay.
Put
we have
your
to
put your
understand
microphone just like this with your hands because we don't hear you. Just
it would be crucial, first of all, to note that what is crucial is that you are paying with your life. Okay. It's
What do you mean?
very
Sorry, what do you mean by paying with your life?
okay. I will refer to a quote I meant to say: people that profit from your ignorance can never be happy when knowledge comes your way.
People who profit from your ignorance can never be happy when knowledge comes in the way.
Yes, exactly. When you start making efforts of trying to change something, you are enlightening people, you are opening people's eyes. So what you are doing is that those that have been profiting from their ignorance, like you've given an example of
Men profiting from
the marginalization that is happening between men and women, you find that the moment you begin to speak in that space, like Shoma is doing, there's going to be a backlash. Now, why is that backlash coming? Because there are people who are profiting from that wrong thing happening. So you understand that you are touching people's livelihood. I remember a particular time when I shared some insights from the time Dr. Sunday was doing the live programs back then, I think in 2017 or 2016. So I shared something and I began to receive phone calls. Why? Because it was talking about...
what did you share?
It was talking about proper use of tithe in church.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so people were calling me, and particularly those that were afraid of approaching me called a colleague of mine. And I said, but why is your friend bringing out these things? Don't you know that he's attacking people's livelihood? This is how certain people are surviving. Now it's hammering us, it's hammering on our bread. So you realize that there are people who profit from the suffering of others.
Is it what you meant, Joan?
Yes, absolutely, Kate. Because you know, it's like in a country, if there is corruption, for example, can you imagine someone getting from corruption 100,000 euro or dollar every day, and you coming with, for example, in my case, if you want to bring IT, you know, in the transactions of the state, of course you might have backslash, because now everything has to be transparent, because in IT you know who log in at which time and who logs out of the system, who press the button. You know, do you think it will be easy for such system to get into the state in some countries? No, but fighting for that, yes, you might have backslash from a certain group of people. That's
okay.
Clear.
So I would have a question from I understood that we will have definitely backlash when we have an idea. Let's say as an IT, you have an idea that your home country has to benefit from the transparent transactions which can be provided by the new systems, right? And there will be someone who is against this. So what do you think? How do you go into this field? How do you start promoting this idea? What is the smart way? Let's not get killed. Let's not get killed. What do you think is the smart way to start doing this? It's a question to you both.
Okay, all right. So let me step in and say, first of all, we have to break the architecture of what you are going to do. You have to understand that you perhaps maybe start a movement, it might be even on a social media page, but what is happening on the socials, you have to understand that it will translate into the physical. There will be a point where somebody will follow you because you have been attacking them, you've been saying certain things on social media, you have been bringing out a movement. So even in the physical, people now begin to make advancements, or people stop you, people begin to send you threats. So you want to have now not only the infrastructure in the online, but you also want a physical infrastructure to ensure safety. So first of all, you have to have the protocols in terms of IT, in terms of securing your passwords, ensure that you know I think Joanne will understand better in terms of your protocols in terms of online, so that you are not hacked. People don't begin to make other things that make you say things that you didn't say actually because they may be logged onto your system. That is one aspect. But then you go onto the physical aspect where you put certain physical measures to ensure that you are protected, okay? So those physical measures could include maybe security protocols in your home, at your workplace, family. How do you ensure that your family is also protected? So you have to categorically put those two spaces in place, the online aspect and then the offline, meaning the physical aspect. Let me leave it to Joanne to pick up from there.
Let me just get in for a little bit to cover. So what you are talking about is that if you want to change the status quo in some area, for example, in security, you don't go only in IT. It's also about physical security. But my question to you is not about how do you actually change the status quo, because it's a different discussion. How do you prepare for the backlash? How do you do it? How do you go online and you start talking about your new idea? There will be a backlash if you are successful. Let's say we had Okocha Happy Marcel, who is actually talking about the security of Nigeria, and he has a very successful channel of 120,000 subscribers, 39 million of views, because he's talking about insecurity, about, you know, Boko Haram taking over and things like that. And he has a backlash, but it's more verbal backlash, because people are saying you make Nigeria look bad. You make us lose investments because you are exposing this. That's like, but the question that I ask is, you know, you are going into the field that will have a backlash. How do you prepare for the risks? Because we said the risks can be something like ostracism, you can be cancelled, you can be just called out, maybe legally, depending on your system in your country. You can be called out legally for making changes where, let's say, it's legally protected. Let's say in Arab countries, women are second level human beings, and when you change it, you actually challenge the legislation system. So when you are going into this field and you know what are the risks, how do you prepare? How do you go about this?
So that's interesting, Kate, because yes, preparing for that, it depends on different factors. You know, I will give one already. It is, for example, the level of politicization, I tell you this word, in the country. You know, and the regime
What is very. What is it level of politicization?
I say, for example, a country might be centralized towards politics. You know, for example, at that time, I grew in a country where you were thinking that to have money, you have to be a politician, because you did not have any figure of a businessman that succeeded and, for example, got rich. You see, for example, it means many things were toward politics. If you do a business, you have to be acquainted with the political people. It wasn't, you could not have this freedom. In this case, Kate, I can tell you, for example, the case of the context of an African, sometimes it is, your security can be to have another citizenship. You know, because if you are from the US,
your security, one of the preparation would be maybe to leave the country.
Yeah, to leave the country is one thing, but if you have a citizenship from the US,
it's better to challenge the status quo if you are outside the country, which like can chase you for this, right?
Yes, that most people that speak are outside, but it's not the best thing to have an impact. It did work for the General de Gaulle from France when he fled from France calling for revolution. Yes, that's fine. But we see that most people that made a great impact, like Martin Luther King, they stayed in the country. Nelson Mandela stayed in the country. You know, in Gandhi, he was in this country. So the people that are there in the crisis with the people that are suffering, generally the impact is greater because they also take a greater risk, their life, is already on the table. You know, this is, it depends, because here we are talking in taking at a national level or at an international level. It means the level of the risk also we want to take should be at the level, like Dr. Sandra Adela just said, the success influence then depends on your level of trials and battles, you know, and this is something we should not forget.
Interesting. Before this call, I discussed with ChatGPT how you can go about this despite this risk, and at the same time not to be stupid, you know, to go towards these risks. So the suggestion was related to what we discussed with you, Andrew, is that you need to be, when you start talking about these issues, you go from empathetic angle. So when you go from empathetic angle, then people who are holding the status quo might not be that aggressive and not be having so much backlash, because you are coming from the side of empathy. You are open to listen. You are listening to their side. Let's say, for instance, when we said in the beginning of the call that when you challenge the status quo, when you are talking about something that has to be changed in society, there will be people who benefit from it, from misconduct or how it works right now. They benefit, so you are challenging them. And also we need to understand that we're challenging them, but they might not know the other way also. So empathetic approach is when you look at the society's problem at global, so you are not just bashing people with you know, your truth. You are actually trying to build gradually the change. So what do you think about this, Andrew?
Yeah, so that is a very interesting point you've raised, that as we engage, okay, you are on a divide. There are those that are profiting from this, and there are those that are seeking the emancipation, those that need the freedom.
Suffering.
So it's those that are suffering. So you have to understand that your movement is not an attack on people's bread, okay? You are trying to emancipate others. Like, let's say what Nelson Mandela did. It's not that he was trying to marginalize those that were in power, no, but he was trying to find freedom for his people. So in finding freedom for his people, it meant that those that were profiting from that felt like it is a personal attack. So empathy must be able to lead so that you understand to say, okay, this fight is not against me, it's for the greater good. Okay, so I might suffer. Give an example. We say, let's say truth. You see, truth hurts, but eventually it heals. So some of the healing that our nation...
Truth hurts, yeah, but hurts. Eventually it heals. It heals whom?
Okay. So it is healing those, like in this example, those that are profiting from injustice, those that are profiting from marginalization.
They are also healed?
They are the ones that truth is hurting, because they know I'm losing. Mm-hmm. They know my business will go down. So eventually that truth is going to bring healing to them when the society is actually straightened out. Okay, so you must see that in the initial, there will be a form of pain they will experience.
So when you're talking about this, I want to stop a little bit on this, because it's like Jesus, who was turning the tables in the temple, but he didn't turn the tables because he didn't want those people to eat. He had a better way.
Exactly. That's the exact point I'm trying to make, that you see, the Jesus turning of tables is for a cause of consecration of the house of God. It's not to kill the businesses of those people who are doing that. So when you come up with a movement to, let's say, speak like Chioma, I'll give an example again, who's doing this for women in Nigeria. It's not that she's trying to bring down the men, no, but she's trying to bring women to their right status.
But she's called a man hater.
Exactly. Why is she called? Because it's the truth, and it's hurting. Okay, the men that have lived under this ideology are not happy. Okay, they feel like, no, who is she? Why is she talking like this? Why are you bringing your nose into other people's business.
So you are saying that when you come from the angle of empathy, it means that you understand that you are not only helping those who are suffering, you are also helping those who are benefiting, because although they will hurt from truth right now, in the long run they are going to benefit from this, because when society benefits, they will also benefit, but
Exactly.
it goes through the pain.
Yes.
And now when you were talking about this and you mentioned Chioma, and we said that she is called now the man-hater, I'm thinking that this name it gives her actually popularity, because if you can be distinguished, oh, this Chioma, she's a man-hater, or this Okocha Happy Marcel, well, he is disgracing the Nigeria because he is talking about what shouldn't be talked about, or things like that. So actually they are gaining popularity for this controversy, because they are to saying the truth, so people giving them names, but actually these names make them popular. And I want to bring one example of one of the guests that we had to have here on our discussion, Israel Good News Balogun, who yet didn't come, and I emphasize this because if you're watching, you have to be ashamed of yourself. So it's just a joke, but we're waiting for you. I'm blushing now. So what happened with Good News Israel Balogun is that he went online and he started exposing some of the pastors in Nigeria for using the money topic to take money from poor church goers. And what happened with this video is that it instantly became popular, like 20,000 views, then 100,000 views. And because he became so popular for doing this, he was sued for defamation by this pastor. Next day he was taken into Nigerian prison without no one knowing why he's taken, because this lawsuit, they didn't give the right to detain him. So he spent there 2 days without like having food or anything. He was risking his life. Someone who was following him in the city, he was making a video saying, I see someone follows me, so if I disappear, know that there is something is going on. And so he went through this. He found a lawyer who helped him to do a counter suit, and he made a case that he was detained unlawfully, and he won this case. He was released, and his YouTube channel took off, his social media took off. Everyone started talking about him because he went through these things. So he firstly he earned a bad reputation in these churchgoers, among these churchgoers, but then later, because for defamation of their pastor, but later those churchgoers watched his videos and he was influenced them. So what do you think about this kind of strategy of becoming famous? Costly, expensive.
Joanne, you want to give it?
Go on. I didn't hear.
Yes, who is Andrew is talking?
Okay, you can pick it up, Joanne.
Okay, so I think the strategy is interesting, because you have to understand that the genesis of the strategy is a real problem that is already popular. It's not that it became popular.
It's already popular. The people already talk about this.
Exactly. It was a real problem in the heart of people. It was a silenced voice. You see, it was a voice that was silent in the heart of people. People were already noticing that something is wrong with some practices, in some churches regarding tithe offering, etc. But nobody dared to speak it loud. But the problem with Femi, I'm still on that.
Well, let me while it will get back. So let me recap. You are saying that the strategy, it works for the reason that it's already in people's hearts. They are already suffering. They are already talking about this between themselves, and they don't have a hero who will take the risk on himself to actually talk on this online,
Yeah.
actually voicing the issue that they are having.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Go on.
And this is where we should all start if we really want to take over the media. We want to change the people. We want to really to change the people. We have to, if we really want to change the people, we have to go from the existing problems, from the pain points of people, and turn it into a channel, turn it into a movement. And from there, our first protections will be the people that follow us, that can pick this voice. If our voice try to be silenced, now we will have many like us, kind of disciples that can already now propagate, like a movement around. And this is also a first part of security already.
That's a very powerful thought. I even have a goosebumps. So what you are saying is that if we pick up the pinpoints, that's what Andrew was talking about. You have to understand the pinpoints. So if you are empathetic, you pick up the pain points that people are having, you are voicing it to bring a solution, you are creating a movement. And yes, you are risking, but at the same time, those people whose desires you have voiced, they are your security.
Exactly. Maybe just to chip on that, that's a very key point, you have noted, Kate, that you see, you have become the embodiment of the voice of the masses. Okay,
yeah.
It's like you are, like Joan said, you are the hero of them. Okay, you are their hero. You have taken the courage. I always say risk taking is the courage to pursue an opportunity. There's an opportunity out there, and people don't have the courage to come up. They're afraid, they're closed with it. So you have stepped out, but in stepping out, you have stepped out as an individual carrying the voice of many. So when that voice is trying to be silenced, they are not silencing a single voice. You might be an individual, but the voice you carry is a voice of masses. So they are not silencing an individual. They are trying to silence a mass of people. So they cannot put your voice down. They cannot silence your voice because it's a voice of many people. So because you've had the courage to step out, another person will come out. Okay, another person will come out.
That's how the movement is happening.
That's how the movement now starts. Why? Because somebody has had the courage to pursue an opportunity, and then they embody the voice of many.
Thank you so much. So it's if you are watching this, I would like, we have a Real Man Mentor. Let me switch to the chat. We have Matthias joining. He said, great conversation. We are almost at the end of this call. I would like you to write what are your takeaways, because we cannot give out everything. This is actually part of the book on intellectual curiosity that Andrew and Joan is writing. Joan is writing about risk taking, Andrew is writing about empathy that he talked about before, and I'm writing about network developing, and there are more people that are participating, and we might invite them, they might join, or we might rejoin again with Joan and Andrew, because you can see that all topics are interconnected. So you need to stick around, you need to wait for this book to be released, because you can see the depth that this topic has, and we will try to do our best. Let me ask, what are your thoughts about this book, what it can do? Joan and Andrew, because we are rounding up, so I'm going away already of the depth that we had, because we can't continue, although it's amazing conversation. We have to continue having such conversations, but we need to round up little by little. I already have a comment that I will read after you say some few words about this book. What do you think about this? What do you want to share about the book?
What I want viewers, listeners to understand is that this book is born from a heart of service. Okay, you see, there are many issues out there, like we are saying, the embodiment of many voices. So this is why it's not a person like I'm writing this alone. It's a global picture you are getting. You have Joanne from Germany there. I'm here from Zambia. You are in Greece, Kate, and many other collaborators on this particular book. So it is a summary of what a person needs to multiply their influence. And every person must remember that each one of us is born to influence a certain sector. And through technology, through media,
each one of us is born to influence. We are equipped, have to be equipped, but we actually have this like a calling to change, influence, exactly. Right?
It may be influencing women, it may be influencing politicians, it may be influencing footballers. Each one of us has got an area where we need to influence. And we have the tools right now, because of technology, we have the tools that our influence can be multiplied globally. Now, this book simply packs what you need to do for you to get started and multiply this impact that God already locked up within you. So it's a great book and people should be excited about. Yeah.
I'm sure they're excited because you see they're writing that it's a great conversation. What Matthias, Real Man Mentor, is writing. Understand the pain points and create awareness about it passionately. This is a powerful takeaway for me, he's saying. What do you have to say, Joanne, about the book?
Yes, so it is more than a book because it is a compilation also of living experiences. You know, it is very important because there are books that can inspire you, but the way we decided to write this book is for transformation. Transformation meaning in your core being, it will bring alignment. Where you had fear, where you wanted to protect something specific, between you were maybe thinking it was fear, actually it was maybe love that was just a little bit misoriented. Mm-hmm. For example, you see, and then you will understand also who you are, because taking risk is part of you, because living is already a risk.
Taking risk is part of you because living is already a risk.
Yeah.
Very
you
powerful.
Go on the street, you do many things, you eat food, you don't know who cooked this food, you don't know where this food came from. Do you know? Can you say we put that on the floor? How they did the harvest? You don't know all that. You take the airplanes to move from one place to another.
So you risk already anyway. You are risking, but you can risk and be mediocre, and you can risk and become a hero.
Exactly. Why not use this quality that you already have? You know, in some countries where you don't have airplanes, look at the streets look the kind of streets we are driving. It is almost near death every day, you know, but the people don't realize that they are taking risks that are more higher than many people living in the Western countries, for example.
It brings it to the point that people who can actually speak for people living in underprivileged areas, they have moved to better places, and now in the comfort of their houses, they are afraid even there to speak.
Can you imagine that? So that's why this book is there, is to take you back to really look at this angle where you will reflect also yourself and you will be free. It will transform, moving from one state to another.
That's amazing. I will round up on this place. I have one more comment from Real Man Mentor. Are you born with empathy for a particular area, or is it a skill that you need to develop. So there is a question: are you born with empathy for a particular area, or is it a skill that you need to develop? What do you think?
All right. So in most of people that have studied empathy, one thread runs through, and they say empathy is a part of who we are as humans. Okay. There's no human being that has no level of empathy. We all have it. It's an inborn thing, but it has to be cultured for a particular purpose. So we find that somebody will have empathy towards their children, but when they get into the workplace, they detach empathy from the workplace. I'll give an example of the current CEO of Microsoft. He said when he came into Microsoft 2014, he had that particular challenge where he needed to inspire a cultural change. And particularly, he said he learned from having an autistic child and how they raised that autistic child at home. The empathy that he learned in caring for that child is what he now translated into the corporate world and was able to change the culture of Microsoft. And you could see that the enterprise was able to get back onto an upward trajectory. So empathy is who we are as human beings, that it must be cultured into a certain direction. So if we are doing media, we have to culture it towards media and understand how we can use it to impact others.
So to answer real mentor Matthias, you are born with empathy.
Yes.
You direct it in particular area, and you have to develop a skill that is necessary to apply this empathy, right? Thank you so much. It was a great session. Don't disconnect from this call. Let me just say goodbye to our viewers. If you want us to keep joining, you need to subscribe. Do you see this goal of 1,000 subscribers? This is just a milestone. We will be 1 million here, and you have a chance to be in the first 1,000. You can miss this chance very fast. So just go and subscribe right now. Also, you cannot comment if you are not subscribed, so go subscribe, and we will see you on Monday. For the next discussion on intellectual curiosity, you have to join next Friday. See you. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.